Guest this morning is Miss Rhonda Domes. Rhonda, how are you doing?
I'm doing good. Great. Thank you for having me today.
And thank you for agreeing to come on. Why don't you tell the people a little bit about yourself, real quick?
I am Rhonda Domes. I am a Christian, a wife of 33 years, a mom of four adult kids and a son in law, and soon to be grandma. I am a current grandma of three four-legged pups who are spoiled rotten. And I am a health coach. I love baseball. I have a passion for health, fitness, and all those things, healthy eating. And yeah,
Just
as
healthy eating, and everything? Okay.
what's
All
that?
right. I noticed you said that you're a soon-to-be grandma, except for the four pups, and I dig the four pups thing. Uh, I got a neighborhood full of pups that probably belong to my dog. Yeah, it's bad. I've had complaints. So, Rhonda, what is it exactly that you do online, and how does it help people?
Okay. Well, I am a little bit about, I guess, a little more detailed about my story. A little over 4 years ago, I was all those above things, but I also weighed twice the weight I do now. I was in a point where I had tried everything over the prior 20 years. I'd had four kids. With each kid, I put on pregnancy weight and I couldn't get it off to save my life. I had tried six different gym programs and none of them seemed to work for me. I had tried, I don't know how many different diets, all the fad diets from ketos to Mediterranean to Weight Watchers to um, gummy type of things to drops to you name it. I probably tried it and it just didn't work. And I even tried three different medications with my doctor and they didn't work. They actually created additional side effects that were
Oh, yeah.
too risky. Blood pressure was shooting too high and we couldn't have that. I was pre-diabetic. I was probably diabetic, but I really fought to stay off diabetes medication. The doctor kept putting pre-diabetes on my chart every year, and I promised to fix it, and I tried. I just couldn't figure it out. I was taking low dose of high blood pressure medicine. They wanted me to be checked for sleep apnea. And I know I was struggling there, but again, I wasn't sleeping well at night, and to have a machine, my thought process was to have a machine connected to me isn't going to help me sleep better.
No, it's
Um,
not. I've been
so
through the sleep thing. I've been through the sleep test thing, and no, it does not help you sleep better.
I would go to bed at night and just pray that God gave me another day. I didn't know what else to do. And it's still a little emotional for me, so I apologize if I
Okay, oh
get
no, you're
emotional.
fine.
That's who I am. But my oldest child got engaged, and she was going to get married 6 months from January of 2022, and at the time it was early January, and I was getting over. I'd been sick since about Thanksgiving. I always got sick in the winter and it was hard to break it. My immunity was just so low. I also suffer from seven different autoimmune diseases.
Mm.
So that would bring my immunity down too. And I was always so fatigued, so tired, so worn out, exhausted. And I lived in a lot of inflammation and pain. In 2019, to back it up a few more years, I was in a car accident that really triggered some immense pain. And they put me on muscle relaxers, but I like to know what I'm doing in life. And the muscle relaxers would knock me out. So I didn't use them. I just chose to live in the pain. Um, Ibuprofen, Tylenol, all that. I could overdose that and uh, it did nothing for me. So I all our kids were home from college. They were all in college at the time, and we had one still in high school, and we had gone bowling as a family. Two of them were headed back to college the next day. So, one last family event before we kicked off that start of the year. And my second ball I threw, usually I don't even bowl. I was the person who would sit back because any type of exercise, any type of anything just wore me out. I would have been out
Mhm.
cold. So, but for whatever the reason, God has a purpose for everything. I do believe that. I chose to bowl that day And literally the second ball I threw, I fell to the ground, almost went
Mm.
down the lane with the ball, and I had torn my hamstring, and,
Oh,
that hurt. Uh,
yeah.
I will never, when I've seen football players, I've seen people who fall on and just, roll back and forth. I get that. I so respect them now.
I've been there.
It was a grade 2 tear. I, they I called a few places. They said there's nothing really they can do on weekends. This was a Saturday. So Monday, I connected with a physical therapist, and it was a grade 2 tear, so it didn't require surgery. But I went through 6+ months of rehab. So I sat at home. I was a 4K teacher of sorts. I had 3 different jobs. I also worked with high-risk families after school, and then I speak Spanish, so I translated. So at the time, I had 3 jobs. I could not move. I had a friend bring over a walker for me, and I hobbled around the house on the walker, and I went to physical therapy a couple times a week, did stuff at home. Really not much I could. My job gave me data work to do from home because I couldn't get down on the kids. And I sat at home crying because I was, and the fact that I was asked, like I said, I had 3 different jobs. I served on 2 different church committees, high school sports, involved in sports. I was on the go. I'd leave the house 6:37 in the morning. Many nights I wouldn't get home till 9 o'clock at night. I was constantly moving. You would think God would give me a pound or 2 here or there, but nothing. Um, I was also at the time over 50. Hormones, whether you're male or female, hormones go wacky. And that's a lot what was going on with me. And I understand a lot of that now. But sitting at home at the time freaked me out. And the fear of change actually wasn't as scary as the fear of where I was at and not knowing how much weight I would gain from just sitting around because I couldn't move now. So that scared me enough. I thought I'm going to try one. I had seen that church, 200 pounds on this program. I'm like, what the heck? I'll try it. So I connected. I got cold. His name is Vijay, but amazing. And
Most Joshes are.
Former Marine, former police officer. He was pretty strict. And I think God connected us because I did no excuses, and I quickly learned there was. I made a decision. We had just got a $5,000 loan to afford vacation early or later 2 months away. And out to go on vacation, okay? But at the time, I couldn't say no to my kids, and we had to do something. But now I was also afraid because I'm like, I can't even move and to enjoy this. Money, and I made a decision. I said, I need to try it. And I started with the idea, well, it'll be I can check off. It doesn't work for me, but at least I tried it, right? So
Right.
my credit card actually was declined because that's how high it was the first time. So I had to whole manipulation to find some work to get going on it. And lo and behold, I started losing weight right away. I started at about 140 pounds, and by Friday, by Friday, I was down 7 pounds, and
Nice.
like 5 days, 7 pounds. And then I lost a really close aunt. My I had 2 aunts, her sisters were very close. They were the ones who were here for my kids' births, family, until my mom could fly here, things like that. So they were like moms to me. I was really close to them. One passed away from cancer. So I had emotions all over the place. And did I want to dive into food more so than, that whole emotional eating thing? But I don't know. I had a mindset. I was 7 pounds down. We went home we drove 3 hours away for her funeral. And that first weekend, and there was tons of food. My ancestry is high German. So a lot of
Ooh,
sausages and high starchy
yeah.
food. Good food, but not necessarily
Soul
great
food.
when
Yeah.
you're trying to lose weight. And yeah, and I said no to a lot of good stuff and kept on my program. And by that Monday, my first week, I was down 13 pounds. And I was like,
Nice.
holy cow. Okay, maybe this works. And part of the program is you can start coaching. You get a coach, but you can also coach the program. And coaching, yes, it's helping others, which I had a ton of people in my life who I could help. But it's also a layer of accountability. As a coach, you want to be that role model and you
Right.
want to show people that, this is doable. And the fact that I was 13 pounds down and I thought I was going to need every possible thing to continue to make this work, I said, yes, yeah, I'll coach. At the time, I thought, okay, yeah, I'm 13 pounds down, but I'm still well over 90 pounds overweight. I'm like, who wants to be coached by me? But I
Right.
will come on for the accountability. Why not? And it did, when like I said, we're big sports fans and we went to a lot of potlucks and, you know, sports parties and things like that where there's a ton of food out. I did live out loud. I started living out loud and sharing my journey with people. Another layer of accountability. Everybody
Right.
knew. So when we were at these parties, people were watching me. What's she eating? And it really made me think about what to choose and what not to choose, you know?
Which helped you out even more.
Yeah. Yeah. Layers the accountability. It was kind of I didn't totally understand it. Living through it, I did. By week 2, I lost another pounds, 19 pounds down in 2 weeks. I hadn't lost 19 pounds in anything else in like 3 months. I'm like, "Okay." And within 2 weeks, I was like, "Okay, this actually might work for me, right? This might be the thing." And sure enough, 8 months later, I was down 110 pounds. Um,
That's
at
a whole
6
nother
months
person.
I'm pretty much half the size. I get dropped to 126 was my low point. I lost 100 over 110 pounds and never felt better.
And
At my
keeping it
daughter's
off.
wedding, what's that?
And keeping it off.
And keeping it off the last 3.5 years. Exactly. I've kept it off the last 3.5 years. Part of my why, I had created a why. Obviously, it was to get healthier, but part of it was to be as low as I could be within 6 months when my oldest daughter got married, because I didn't want to be this huge person in those wedding pictures that'd be around for
Was it
lifetimes.
was there a little underlying in there? You wanted to make sure that you was there for it?
Yeah,
Because in
yeah,
that kind of shape, I've been there. You're at risk for so many things, and any day it could be
yeah.
over.
Well, like I said, I was literally going to bed at night praying that would give me one more day because maybe that next day I would figure something out. And luckily, I was given this opportunity. The thing is, I knew these people. I followed these people for about 8 months before I made that decision to do it. It took a torn hamstring to finally say, "Okay, I get it. God, you've awakened me. Let's do something," right? And yeah, at 6 months in, I was down 85 pounds, so that was amazing for my daughter's wedding. I felt good. It felt great going for shopping for the mother of the bride dress, and I actually could try on some cute stuff, you know? Um, it's silly, but people who haven't been overweight, you're limited in what looks good on you.
Yes,
And
you are.
to actually be able and you're limited in the amount of stuff out there. I had so many options. I mean, I don't know. I probably tried on 100 dresses. I think some of it was just having fun because I could actually try some of this stuff on.
And you
And
should.
I had fun with it. I posted about it, and we picked a dress and yeah, but it was good. It was good. So, yeah, 110 pounds down. And I've been maintaining. The thing is, Whereas before the gym, because I had tried 6 different gym programs and none of them worked out well, and for me, it was going there was almost like a punishment because of my weight, because of
Oh,
my
I
health,
understand that one.
and it was hard to go there, it was hard to get motivated. I hurt, joints hurt, muscles hurt, the autoimmune things cause the inflammation, depending on whether I was having a good or bad day, that inflammation, movement either helped it or it could do just the opposite.
Mhm.
So that's was part of the issue. Um, Now the gym, I was at the gym for an hour and 45 minutes this morning. I hit a bunch of PRs, 9 PRs actually. Had a great morning, but I start 6 out of 7 days of the week at the gym, 5 a.m. I'm up there doing a workout. Saturday morning, we do something extra special called Breakfast Club for a few elite members, but it's pretty amazing. And we just have fun with it. And I love the gym now. It's a total different 360 perspective, you know?
You're
And
on this side now.
yeah, yeah. And on Sundays is kind of my recovery day. Don't necessarily hit the gym, but go for a family walk or we'll do something light at home. But it's definitely a different perspective. The gym did not help me lose weight, but the gym keeps me right now um motivated, and it's that next level. It was all about nutrition. Nutrition is what helped me lose weight when I was healing from the, hamstring injury, and the way I felt with all the autoimmune stuff, the inflammation, the pain, it would have been just no way. The gym would have been
Right.
there would have just been no way. Rehab was bad enough, some of the stretching and some of the stuff they had me doing in that. Ah so, n It's a totally different perspective, it's great. Lost the 110 pounds strictly with nutrition. I couldn't exercise really outside of rehab. Towards the end, I was walking. I had to pretty much learn how to walk normal again. I didn't know how a torn hamstring can affect that kind of thing, and after walking, I had to learn how to jog, and run because, it's I don't know, it was different. I That never clicked
I,
initially,
I,
but,
I
um
understand that having to learn how to walk again, not personally, but in high school, a friend of mine, Billy Huffman, he got an injury where he had to have surgery and was out, and I was running him back and forth on the weekends and after school to his therapist. And when he would groan or moan when they would be stretching him out and getting him ready for the therapy, I'd start. Well, I wasn't a very nice friend, but I was a very good motivational friend. I'll put it that way.
oh,
I
no.
use, I use some choice words on him, but yeah, I that took him 6 weeks to get to where he was walking normal again. He could return to the field. As far as the weight thing, yeah, I've been in there. I was 275 pounds at one time, and what I did is I basically got tired of it too and wanted the fastest way.
Mhm.
And I saw this commercial for something called Beach Body Workouts with Shaun T. I don't know if you've ever seen them. They are ruthless and brutal, and I did those twice a day for 5 years nonstop. I got down to 190 pounds with solid muscle, but after 5 years of doing that, I wore my body out. I messed up my shoulder from doing some of those extreme workouts, and I had to stop. And that weight came back, well, not all of it, but that weight came back pretty fast because you got the more you work out and the more you're active you are, the more calories, food you have to consume to keep your energy levels up. If anybody didn't know that, there you go. There's a little tidbit of information. That's why they say you are what you eat, and the healthier the foods, the better the energy. And burgers just don't cut it. But I had to learn to control my appetite and what I ate. Powdered donuts are off the list. I will never give up powdered donuts. I don't care. But yeah, I had to learn how to control my proportions. Had to start choosing what to eat a little bit healthier. But yeah, powdered donuts, and I have to add sweet tea. Those are off the list. I'll never stop drinking or eating those. I just got to watch how much. and that's really where it comes down to maintain when you have to give stuff up, like working out all the time. But kudos to you because you are keeping it off. You have made yourself quite the audience and quite the business. Um, we actually met on another interview. I was watching you get interviewed by a friend, a mutual friend of ours, Mr. Paul Hammond, and I came on next, his next interview. And you started communicating with us, of course, in the chat. So, and you and I start talking about my wife who has MS because you also do some stuff and work with MS and stuff. And unfortunately, we couldn't join you at this time. She's not ready to say, but the good news is she did find her a part time job, which has helped her out greatly. But I still see her slipping away and slipping away. So, you know, the pain of you can make it better, but you can't make it go away is still there. And it's the same thing with the weight now. If I stopped watching what I was eating and became even less active, it probably just explode. So kudos to you on that. I'm proud of you. I mean, we've only been friends for a short while, but I'm still proud of you.
And that's the cool thing. The autoimmune, I have 7 different diagnoses of autoimmune issues. I probably have a couple others that haven't been officially diagnosed because my kids have them. They've been diagnosed with them, and pretty much the doctors have said it probably comes from one of the parent. And I'm like, well, I'm the one with all of them, so just toss it on my list. But that's the cool thing is the fatigue I was fighting before, the inflammation, the pain is gone. Are the diseases still there? Yes, but they're dormant, and I don't suffer from that fatigue, the inflammation, and the pain. I am lifting I'm lifting more than what I weighed before. I'm deadlifting 250 pounds.
That's
Um,
impressive.
and at 56 years old. And I feel
I
good.
just hit 50. Easy on the 50. I just hit 50.
Um, I feel good. We just
It
had a
shows you're glowing every time you talk about it. When you say, I feel good, you light up. So it's obvious that you feel good. It really is.
It is, and I could not be more grateful for finding this program and, really understanding what nutrition can do for you. You're right, I have chosen to eliminate some stuff. We're not a restrictive diet. If people wanna eat their powdered sugar donuts or sweet tea, totally up to them. But we do educate you on what sugar does to the body. Sugar
Mm,
is not your friend, pure
no,
and
it's
simple.
not.
Um, there's don't take me wrong, there's, better alternate sweeteners. I don't recommend artificial sweeteners because 'cause they're worse. They create
Carcinogenic.
cravings, everything. That's what's in a lot of sweet tea, just telling you. Um, but, there's things like stevia and monk fruit, which are natural plant-based sweeteners, which are probably your healthiest option when it comes to a sweetener. Um, Not to say you have to, whatever, but I have made some choices. It's all that sugar, and honestly, if I have just a bite of cake or a cookie or something, many times I can feel that sugar in my body. It doesn't mean
Mm,
I don't have something once in a while, you know? We're at an event. I love peanut butter. Peanut butter is the little devil sitting on my shoulder, that's peanut butter. I try to do PB2 Fit, or we have a peanut butter shake, protein shake that works just like PB2 Fit, which is amazing. So between those 2 is what I use for my peanut butter normally, but when you're out and about, you don't always have that option. So, I'm not afraid to eat anything, but I do know what sits well with me and what doesn't now. So I'm very cautious about how much sugar I intake for that reason. Sugar creates inflammation, creates cravings, makes you eat more. Um, there's just nothing good about it. So,
except it
um,
tastes good.
so,
I got the lid in there.
yeah, and, so, I choose to try to eliminate that as much as possible, like I said. And there's some other things. My daughter was diagnosed with celiac, so, hence, we've kind of eliminated gluten. I'm sure that's something I have because gluten's never sat well with me, and,
Mm. And it's
Uh,
found in almost anything you buy in a store these days.
it is, but, if you get used to it, there's so much gluten-free stuff out there too now. There are great gluten-free options, so, and not to say we don't. I mean, I still have growing boys, sports boys. We're very much a sports-oriented family. The boys need some of those carbs for what they do, not to say I don't ever
Right?
make it, but we have options, and, people can choose what they want. Spaghetti, there's regular noodles and
I
there's
love
zoodles
spaghetti.
and everything, but the spaghetti sauce and meatballs are the same. So, yeah, but
No, no, to defend my sweet tea there, I don't drink pops anymore. I did cut sugar out in other areas, just not in my sweet tea. Um, I don't drink pops. When I do have a pop from time to time, like you said, I can feel the sugar in it, and I can feel how gritty the liquid is. You don't notice
Yep.
that when you drink it all the time, but when you cut it out and then you go and have one, you can definitely taste it. And yeah, it feels like I can feel the sugar granules crunching between my teeth, I guess you could say. Um,
No,
I, pre- I mean, I cut sugar out of my coffee. My coffee is straight black now. I try to limit myself in my coffee because too much of anything is a bad thing, and too much caffeine isn't good for you either. Um, but yeah, I
and
did cut out
that's for
sugar and a lot of
sugar.
other things. It's just those two sources. You leave them with that one.
Yeah,
Those
and
those
see,
are my those are my I need to feel good, and those are my go tos.
no, that's good, and like I said, sugar,
Oh,
I used to probably drink 3 sodas a day, um, and, now I hardly drink any. Again, about the only time we have something is if we go out to eat, something like that, and, many times I just order water with a lemon slice in it, but if I want something, I'll usually get a diet soda, and not saying diet is any better. Diet The majority of diet sodas, yes, you can buy the Zevia brand, which actually uses stevia in it, which is slightly healthier. But the thing with no matter what soda you get, there's no nutritional value. It's purely for enjoyment. So, but the carbonation many times fills a person up. And when you have too much of it, then if it fills you up too much and you don't feel like eating food that's actually nutritious, it's even that pleasure of drinking it, it's not helping you overall in the long run because it's filling you up, adding no nutritional value, and, you're missing out on stuff that could help your body, so
mhm. Bad carbs are still bad carbs. Now,
yeah.
let's talk about peanut butter because I am a peanut butter connoisseur. There's people at work who think I'm a little bit weird because I have a peanut butter jar sitting up in the cabinet of my desk. I also have a peanut butter jar sitting on the nightstand next to my side of the bed because if I wake up in the middle of the night and I'm hungry, because that does happen, I don't like getting out of bed. The floor is cold. I might trip over my dog. Yada yada yada. I'll use any excuse, but I'll grab that jar of peanut butter and I'll get a big spoonful out and I'll eat it and I'll go right back to sleep. I do recommend having something to drink beside your bed if you do that. Peanut butter does not go down well on a dry throat or mouth.
Uh, and that's why I peanut butter is so high in fat, and, that is especially for women over 40. I'm just telling you, if you're not working out, it's high in fat, and that's where your calories are gonna come from. I get it. I am a big peanut butter person. God created peanut butter and chocolate for me. I'm pretty set on that. But PB2 Fit is a great option. It's a fourth of the calories. I mix that into a little bit of peanut butter and still dip my apples or celery sticks or rice cakes or whatever the case be in it. Um, I like it just as well as I do peanut butter. I use my protein powder, my chocolate protein powder, my chocolate or peanut butter protein powder, and we make ice cream out of that. So we make homemade protein ice cream, which is actually amazing.
Yeah, I got my chocolate protein shake up there for when I do my workouts because I still work out, just not heavy like I used to. So yeah, I never thought of that. I'm gonna try that today.
Yeah, oh, it's a favorite. Chocolate protein, or chocolate peanut butter shake. I like to toss a few bananas in there too, especially around a workout for those
Hmm.
carbs, potassium. Um, yeah, it's pretty good. So,
I'm gonna
some
have
of
to
my
try
go
that.
Some of my go-tos. But yeah, I do a lot of peanut. We do some. I make peanut butter with the balls. Uh, peanut butter protein powder with oatmeal and what is my third component? I'm missing something. Peanut butter protein powder, oatmeal.
Now you can't blame memory loss on the weight thing and all the other autoimmune stuff. That's just CRS getting old.
That's CRS, yeah. Um, I think I did. Well, I'm trying to think what I used for the. I know it's more than that.
Well, I
Maybe
mean,
it's more protein. I think I just because I do the shake. I use our fuel, what we call them fuelings, but our meals. And I use our oatmeal with our peanut butter protein, and then I melt a bar, and between that, each of my peanut butter balls are about 50 calories and packed with about 11 to 15 grams of protein. So to get that much protein with that little calories is, amazing. So we make a bunch up usually on the weekends, and those are our little snackies when you need just that little extra, you know. But you don't want a whole lot, but maybe need a little bit of sweetness or something good. But those are our go-to peanut butter balls during the week. Just store them in the fridge, and my hubby
so
and I just grab one of those
we,
when we want them.
we do no bake cookies. They're not so healthy, but they're still little good snackies. So
But you
oatmeal's
can
in it. That's
make
healthy.
those with protein. If you swap in protein powder, chocolate protein powder for cocoa, there's some swaps you can make to make those healthier.
We're going to definitely have to talk about that because I do the chocolate protein shake with the what's that, wheat isolates. I'm still not
Whey
supposed to
isolate,
do
yeah.
something. Yeah, I'm not really sure on what if that's supposed to do for your body. I just know after a workout that makes me feel a lot better and less drained. So I've kept up with drinking those after every workout, and sometimes I got to tell my kids when they get into it. And I'm like, well, kid, the other two are grown and left the house. I'll be like, boy, if you're not working out and you drink that, it's going to have the opposite effect on you. So, so he's stopped drinking it. I think. I don't know. I have to check the levels of it when I go back in the house. Um,
And
other than that,
it it depends on what if you're an active young person, protein powder is good for anyone, to be honest with you, as long as you don't overdo it. So it doesn't make a difference how active you are. I have, like, for example, my 85-year-old mom fell and broke her hip in June of last year. I put her on our protein powder, and we have our essential amino acids. Essential amino
mhm,
acids actually create something called protein synthesis. So they not only help with muscle recovery, so any healing process, but also muscle recovery after working out. They build lean muscle mass, and they work with the protein in the process of creating the protein synthesis. They create stronger muscles, bones, the whole joint stuff going on. So we highly recommend that for anyone because after the age of 30, every person, every decade of their life loses 8% of their muscle mass unless you're doing something about it.
mhm.
So that's why you see a lot of older people, because when you lose your muscle mass, you lose your balance, you start to fall. So that's why we see so many falls in older people
I
is
didn't
because
know
of
that.
that loss of muscle mass, the imbalance, and then the falls. So we actually recommend people to use those two jointly no matter where they are in their journey. So with my mom falling and breaking her hip, she did it stupidly too. She went to sit down in a chair, thought the chair was underneath her, and it
I don't
wasn't
mean
the floor. So it
I
wasn't like
don't mean to laugh. I don't mean to laugh, but you set it up perfectly too. So continue on, please.
yeah. So she has done our program. She's for 85 years old. She's in the top health she can be. And so when she called to tell me this, I was like, and she explained what she did. She's got so much energy. The woman just needs to pay attention to what's going on around her is part of her problem. So she hobbled around on that leg for a week before she thought she just tore something before she went in and they realized her hip was broken. So
Oh,
she was
dang.
taken into surgery. I put her on our protein powder and amino acids afterwards and said, "You need to take this consistently." Because she was kind of ishing it when she felt like it and that previously. I said, "No, you need to take this one a day of each of these at least." And she did. She healed 5 weeks quicker. Her physical therapist who was coming to her house to see her at one point seen the stuff sitting on her kitchen counter, and he's like, "You're taking that?" And she's like, "Yeah, my daughter set me up with it. She said I should take it. It'll help me." He's like, "Okay, this explains so much." He's like, "I've never worked with anyone, even over the age of 60, who's had a hip, any kind of hip fracture or replacement or whatever, that's healed as quickly as you have. But the fact that you're using this and obviously you have a healthy diet outside of it," he's like, "That explains a lot and probably what's helping you heal as quickly as you are," because he's like, "It just doesn't happen with older people."
Right.
And
The
he
better
was like that.
nutrition you put in, the faster your body recovers and heals. You are what you eat.
You are. And I was amazed. It was cool. I wasn't thrilled that she fell and broke her hip, but, it was cool to see it work in that regards. She just had her 6-month checkup. We video conferenced with the doctor, and he said she's in tip-top shape, all her at 85 years old, blood pressure, all her numbers, vitamins, all that, our metabolic health, she's right where she needs to be. And, the woman just needs to, slow down, realize she's 85 years old and just needs to slow down and be aware of her surroundings once in a while.
A little bit of role swapping there. I mean, she's probably telling you to slow down when you was a little kid. Now you're getting to tell her to slow down. That's actually a hilarious way to look at it there.
It
Uh,
is.
so tell tell people the name of your business. That way they'll know what to look for and build and give them some time way to contact you because I don't want them to be hitting me up going, "Hey, I need to get a hold of her," because I want to come straight to you. That's what this is all about. Is helping you get out there and help you help other people. So, if you don't mind, give the people a little information on how they can contact you and about your business.
Um, I started my business under the name Elevate Health. I've since switched it. You can Google Dome's Metabolic Health, which I have CEO and founder. I have that in the thing down below. But I do have a Google account out there for that. Otherwise, my Facebook page is kind of my Rhonda Domes, and my maiden name is Detmer, so you'll see that in parentheses behind it. But I post a lot of healthy recipes out there, health tips. I celebrate my clients out there. I work around the country. I live in Wisconsin. Go Green Bay Packers, go Brewers,
I'm
all
a
that.
Packers fan. I'm a Packers fan.
Okay. I am 100% Wisconsin sports fan. Go Badgers, go Bucks, the whole what. But I coach around the country, I coach from Alaska. I have a couple clients out in Alaska to Maryland to you name it, to Florida. I have a huge client base. My mom actually lives in Florida, and I have a huge client base down in Florida. Uh, but honestly, I coach in just about every state. Currently have a client in almost every state, maybe a couple I don't. But yeah, so we coach virtually, and we help you to whatever goals you are trying to achieve. We talk a lot about weight loss because 90% of the population is in something called metabolic dysfunction. And metabolic dysfunction is things like insulin resistance, type 2 diabetes, high blood pressure, high cholesterol, uh, autoimmune stuff falls into that.
People
Any
out there with whose energy levels go spike and then go way down, and they
right.
can't seem to get to balance out.
M Anything that affects your metabolism, which actually 9 out of the 10 leading causes of death in America are due to metabolic dysfunction. The 10th thing is car accidents. We haven't figured out a way to control those yet, but we can actually help reverse those other 9 out of 10 things to give you a better quality of life. We actually did a study with the US government last summer, and we passed with flying colors. We are the only health and wellness organization that has the approval to be considered as an actual organization that can reverse these symptoms. Obviously, we see people go off their medication every week. It's pretty amazing and something we love to celebrate because when you've taken medication for quite a long period of time for something and you can reverse it and make things better and give yourself a better quality of life, it feels great.
Because some of those medications, especially when they're mixed together, have some adverse side effects that aren't so nice.
That's correct. That's correct. And you get rid of those symptoms as well. And your energy, once you get your metabolism in line, things like energy level, your thyroid starts regulating correctly. There's so many people who have thyroid things going on, your metabolism controls that. And if you can regulate your metabolism, you can regulate just about any of your bodily functions. You can regulate the blood pressure, the blood glucose levels, cholesterol levels, insulin, all that. And then you start feeling better. Your energy comes back. You're sleeping better. My sleep, I used to go to bed pre program. I would toss and turn. It'd take me a good hour to fall asleep. And then I'd be up probably 2 or 3 times throughout the night. And I'd be falling asleep, out on the living room couch at 8, 9 o'clock at night when I was home. I'd come home, crash, and then I'd get up to go to bed, and then I couldn't fall asleep in bed. Um, and then getting up, whatever, I'd get up, my alarm would go off at 6 a.m., and I'd struggle getting up. I couldn't wake up. I'd hit it a few times. Now I'm in bed every night by 9 p.m. It's just automatic, but I'm up at 4:35 a.m. to go work out. And my body wakes me up. I set my alarm for 5 a.m. Uh, but many times I'm up between 4:15 and 5, somewhere around there. That's why I say 4:35 because most mornings I wake up before my alarm. I get a good 7 hours of sleep most days. I find that 7 to 7.5 hours, and we do recommend 7 to 9 hours of sleep, solid sleep. I'm not saying you go to bed and you're up, 2 or 3 times, which the majority of people are. That's part of that metabolic dysfunction. Solid sleep. I get solid sleep. I don't wake up. I am out cold, and I've never had a deeper sleep, which is something I didn't know how much I appreciated until I started getting it again.
Oh, I wish I could get more sleep.
Uh,
Mine's a different reason. It's I have that creative mind that's always thinking and won't shut down. That's why I overthink things a lot.
well, that's part of this whole program, though. We coach healthy body, healthy mind, healthy spirit, healthy finances, and we really touch on that mindset piece too. Because yes, you're losing the physical weight, but it's your mindset that's going to allow you and give you permission to maintain and everything else. So we really work on that mindset piece because that's a key piece in your journey. Um, because
And
many
it's one
times
I've worked on hard. I've worked
yeah,
on my mindset real hard on this journey.
it took
It
me a
just
while to
has it
realize,
transferred over to sleep.
yeah, it took me a while to realize that I could be successful. My mindset had failed. I'd failed at so many things in the
Oh, yeah.
past when it came to getting healthier that it took a while for me to realize, hey, I'm actually being successful. But we talk a lot about those metabolic dysfunctions and improving those. But there's a lot of young people out there, your 20 to 30-year-olds who are living off of your energy shots, energy drinks, coffees, all that junk, paying 7, 8 bucks for an energy drink to get you through the morning. And then you usually crash mid-afternoon and you need another one, right?
I can
That's
testify that the hours I've worked here lately at my 9 to 5, I've had to fall back to energy drinks to be able to get through it. But after 2 weeks of that nonstop, they don't work no more. It's just a nasty tasting liquid going in my body.
Yep. And that's something uh we work with because there's a lot of they might look thin, they might look healthy, but when they're drinking and eating junk like that, their bodies aren't healthy and they're actually in metabolic dysfunction. I have my 32-ounce water bottle. I go through 3 or 4 of these a day.
About
Um,
5 or 6.
okay. Um, and So we work with all different health goals. We also work with the fitness end. I personal train as well. Um, And as people reach, if they are on a journey to lose weight or to get healthy in another form, more energy, better sleep, whatever their goals are, once they get that energy, many times they want to move next level and they want to start the activity because they have the energy, they feel motivated, they feel better, their body feels better. When the inflammation is gone and you can move better, you just want to do something with that.
Yes,
Like
you
you.
do.
Um,
Yeah,
and
I find it amazing. I find it. I don't mean to interrupt you there, but
yeah,
I find it amazing, and you probably do too. You should. You went from hating to going to the gym to now you're helping people to do the same, to lose the weight, to feel better, and that's an amazing journey and an amazing twist of fate in itself. But it all started with the want tos, the why, and the willpower, which you seem to have plenty of. But
I do.
sorry,
And
I didn't mean to interrupt you. I just had to say
no,
that's amazing.
you're great. It's not a problem. It's a conversation, right? Um, so yeah, and we're here to help like my boys I mentioned we're a sports family. My boys play college baseball. They're on a fitness program. You know,
Right?
busy college students, a lot of times they don't have time to run to the cafeteria when it's open, whether it be for breakfast, lunch, dinner, whatever the case be. Uh, and so having a 24-gram protein bar on our fitness side of things that gives you 24 grams of protein, 6 grams of fiber, plus 24 vitamins and minerals, a probiotic, a prebiotic, all the things, they would rather take that to class and be running out the door and they know they're getting something healthy and they're not grabbing some other junk with a bunch of sugar because a lot of the stuff you buy from stores,
It's just
it might
sugar.
have 20 grams of protein in it, but it's got 33 grams of sugar. That sugar is going to just kill anything the protein gives you. So you got to really be careful. There's not many things on store shelves that called protein that actually healthy for you. But yeah, so they use our program and get amazing results with it. They use our amino acids to build the muscle mass, what they're looking for their sport. But we work with a lot of fitness professionals and fitness people and gyms because they're looking for something to offer their clients as well who come to them with questions when it comes to nutrition. So that's been a great side thing of this journey, is connecting with so many gym owners, personal fitness people, things like that, individuals as well who want that muscle mass, even if it's for optimization. Not saying everybody is out here building muscle, but like I said, when you realize you're losing that 8% of muscle mass every decade of your life, that's a chunk of muscle mass you're
Yes.
losing. So if you can do something as simple as eating some healthy food, I mean, heck yeah, it's pretty easy. So we help people there. And just in maintenance and optimization, there's a lot of people who don't necessarily want to lose weight, but we are getting poor sleep. Society markets us junk. They market us poor habits, all that. And, sleep's not important. We should be out there partying and enjoying life. Who cares about your gut health? Go grab McDonald's or go grab this or go grab that. Um, energy, energy drinks, all you should be drinking energy. You need that burst of energy. That's what's going to get you through the day. That's what marketing is all about. And none of that's healthy. So we help people create a healthy lifestyle so they can live better, have natural energy. I mean, I used to crash every day. I get that 2 o'clock in the afternoon crash. I used to do it all the time. I have so much energy. Uh, Hence why so many people seem to come to me because I am so energized. I don't
Well,
care.
you are energized. You are very energized.
I don't care
I
if
just
it's
been sitting back here let you tell everybody about your journey and your business, and it's
I don't
on
care if it's
point.
5 a.m., noon, 3 p.m. in the afternoon, 6 p.m. at night. I pretty much have the same consistent energy. And I love the fact that I can get through the day, not really have to worry about that. The energy motivates me, keeps me in great spirits, makes me want to move and keep doing this stuff. And helping people and helping them win could not be more rewarding even for me. Walking with them in their journey just builds that motivation and everything for me. So on the coaching side of it, It took me 52 years to find the job of my dreams,
But you
but
found it.
but I found it.
Right.
I did education for 15 years. That was hard, especially through COVID. I was a business professional, worked in international sales and marketing for 15 years. Um, I enjoyed that, but at the time I had young kids and it was hard to travel and be away from them.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't have kids for someone else to raise them. That was always my motto. So it was hard to be away from them for 2 weeks at a time when they were littles. So, that was a hard one. But yeah, this I get to work from home. I get to do all the things. I create my day by day. I work when I wanna work. I enjoy family time when I wanna enjoy family time.
Which is what this is all about. Whether you're on the business side for health and fitness or the marketing side promoting digital products, that's what it's all about. Is we want that freedom to make our choices of when we work, when we enjoy our family, when we enjoy our alone time. And I don't mean to cut you off there, Rhonda, but
Oh,
as I said when we were getting this all together and stuff, plan for 20, but be ready to stay for an hour. And yeah, we're right at the hour mark. I seem to have a knack for this. Let's go an hour. I'm just gonna start telling people to just prepare for an hour. Um, I don't mean to cut you off, but we are at an hour. I know you have another thing you have to get ready for, and my wife just called me because one of the things we have started to do is we now go to our local park. It's got a mile and a half course that you can walk or jog around to not only keep myself going, but to help her lose some weight because the medication she's on for MS, and it's a lot, has caused her to put on a lot of weight and less energy. So I'm trying to help her out by being there with her and for her, and help myself out too. If I can get a few quick videos of it and post it online just for the heck of it, I will, of course. But yeah, it's time for us to go for a walk. So
great,
I
great.
will. I will definitely love to have you back on the show where we can talk more about it.
Yeah,
And is
this was
there
great.
anything that you'd like to say to the audience before we do call it a day?
No, I'm open. It doesn't cost anything to connect with me. Feel free to follow me on Facebook, Rhonda
I'm
Domes.
already following you on Facebook.
Yeah. Reach out, messenger. Otherwise, my profile out there has my phone number, email, all that out there. So feel free to connect with me, however. And there's no thing as a silly or stupid question. We just don't know what we don't know.
I
And
accept that as a challenge.
okay. So ask away. I love challenges and here to serve whoever is ready.
Okay. Ron, thank you for coming on the show and let people get to know you. I will make sure that you have a copy of this as soon as I get through editing and processing it. And I will put a replay up and let you know when that is as well. So you
Okay.
can invite more people if you choose to.
Sounds perfect.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, that's been step one. This has been my guest, Rhonda Domes. Rhonda, you have a blessed weekend, and I will talk to you later.